In Helios, we see Benjamin wake up screaming. He calms down. "Fuck," he whispered. Later, we see Benjamin doing many different things around the facility. We see him in the cafeteria as he gets himself some coffee. He downs all of it quickly. After that, he showers and practices shooting at the targeting range. Bullets fly as Benjamin hits the target spots. Benjamin groans as he misses in frustration. We then see Benjamin buying household goods and items from the marketplace. "Okay, so that's $210, the woman clerk said, as Benjamin pulled out some money. He then looked, seeing Robert's family by one of the shop stands. They leave empty-handed as Benjamin looks over. He goes over to the table. "Excuse me, what were they trying to buy?" he asked. We then see the family on their cots all sitting down together as he drops a bag right in front of him. Benjamin doesn't even look them in the eyes as he takes off. The mother and kids look inside to see cans of food, medicine, and bathroom supplies. Benjamin continues walking away as he looks to his hand. He plants his back against the wall. He takes a deep breath. He whispered, missing her. He then sees Lieutenant Hill. "Lieutenant," he called out, doing a quick salute. "Sergeant," he said. "I was wondering if there was any news on Huntington," he said. "You know I can't disclose anything," he told him. "Please, it's important. My sister," he said. "She's doing all right, all things considered. Misses you a lot," he told her. They then see Liza and the General, Miles. "I'm sorry. We have to form up," he told him. Benjamin punched the wall as he left before cursing him out. They all lined up at the stand as General Miles was giving a speech. "Attend hut!" Liza shouted as the general stepped forward. Everyone saluted, even Benjamin, albeit angrily. "Attention! I know this has been a tough year for you all. We've had our losses. We've had attacks on one of our other communities, but thanks to the brave souls, we found more supplies to get us through another year," he told them. "You know our mission. It's been 14 months since we last seen any sightings of the CRM. As you all know, they are a danger to our very existence as the last remaining bastion of civil humanity," he said. Benjamin began to quietly laugh. "Fuck you," he said. "However, we have a new lead," he told them. Everyone talked amongst each other. "Silence! Everyone be quiet!" Commander Liza shouted. We didn't see him continue. "I know you all worked hard. You fought and trained hard. But remember, this is only the beginning. We've protected Greensville from raiders, and they will continue to provide for us. As you all know, we need everyone who's willing to fight for us. Since we found more supplies, the prices for goods in the marketplaces will be lowered to allow everyone a better chance at everything they need," he told them. "Because unlike other groups, we care about every single person here," he said, looking to Chris, who was beside his family. He looked somewhat angry. After the meeting, he walks with Liza. "That was a great speech, General. The people will certainly be more happy now that they can buy more necessities for their families," she said. "Why hasn't Chris come back to our side?" he asked her. "Huh?" Liza asked. "Chris was a good soldier before. He has a family. He should fight for us. I feel like he's just a non-contributing mouth for us to feed," he told her. "He's my brother-in-law," she told him. "I know. That's why I gave him a second chance. But what is he even doing with it?" he asked. "Just give him more time. He was shot months ago because of us," she told him. Suddenly, Trevor showed up. "Sir," he said. Miles has groaned. "What is it?" "We were having a private conversation," he said. "I have some bad news," he told him. We then see them in the meeting room with all the other officers. Papers everywhere. They looked through the security footage. "It's been edited," he told them. "So then, we have a traitor in our community," Miles stated. "If there's one, then there's probably more," Liza said. "I fucking hate traitors!" Miles shouted, scaring everyone. "Apologies. I lost my head," he said. "Okay, So you found these coded papers. Where? He asked. In Chris's room, he told him. If they're gone, then he'll know we're on to him. There's no way Chris is a traitor, she said. There's no way he put Jessica and the boys in jeopardy, she stated. With all due respect, maybe Commander Liza shouldn't be here. Conflicting priorities, Trevor stated. Excuse me? She asked. I'm putting the community first. Chris left with Manny and Obadiah. He's betrayed us before. But we need to ask ourselves if he's leading a rebellion, how many others are joining him, Trevor stated. That's a fair point. But Chris is a citizen of Helios, which means he has rights, and we can't just condone him without proof. Somebody could have plotted that coded message there, he told him. That has to be it, Liza stated. And no offense, but what about Sergeant Hunter? I mean, I know he did well on the last missions we put him on, but he's dangerous, and from what I've heard, he's unstable, borderline psychotic, she said. That is true. I'm having that taken care of as we speak, Trevor told her. We've set a trap for these traitors, and when they spring it, we'll deal with it, Miles stated. Elsewhere, we see Dr. Alice Warren in her lab. Sean, you need to go back to your room. We're done for today, she said. Sean left a piece of paper in the trash right under the trash can. All right, I'm going, he told her. Later, Benjamin entered, seeing Alice. Oh, fuck me, Benjamin said as he entered, seeing Alice there standing there. Sergeant Hunter, she said. So you're going to be what, my fucking therapist? He asked. Benjamin and her sat down as she handed him a cup of coffee. Benjamin did not break eye contact with her and sipped it. Tastes like shit, he said as he put it down. Alice was taken aback by his insult. Do you always curse like this, even in front of women? She said. Fuck no, but I don't give a fuck about you, he told her. I know what happened. Your friends were murdered, and you've been away from your people for many months now. You were the leader of their community. You had a close bond with Sean and the others. I'm sorry, but... Fuck your apologies. Did you forget stabbing me with a tranq shot that night? Don't act like you didn't have a fucking choice and part in it, because you fucking did. You saw Trevor murder Robert. You know exactly what goes on around this fucking place. So take that innocent routine and shove it, because I'm not gonna buy it, he told her. Alice continued. I heard what happened 3 weeks ago in the city. You apparently went AWOL and went into a killing frenzy. You didn't respond to your radio and killed 13 raiders on your own. Brutally, she finished. How does that make you feel? She asked. Nothing, Benjamin said. What? Alice asked. Fucking nothing, he said. I used to feel like a monster, then I felt like a good person. But I don't feel anything anymore, he told her. Why would I feel anything for people trying to kill me, he asked. If I feel something, I'd hesitate, and if I hesitate, I die, and I am not dying. But you never had to fucking kill a person, he told her. Don't know if that makes you lucky or unlucky, he said. I killed Leo, but do you want to know why I cut his head off, he asked. You probably want to find out if I'm a psychopath or if I'm a good guy. Well, I don't care. I am me. I'm not like you. I'm not like Miles or Trevor. I'm me. I'm Extinction. When I killed the first time, I didn't feel anything, he told her. Most people would be regretful of their first kill, but I wasn't. You have any idea who I fucking am? He asked. Why don't we start from the beginning, she asked. You want to be relieved back to duty, you need to pass my test, she stated. Tell me about your childhood, she said. I got a better idea. You want to know what happened to the man who murdered my mother, he asked. You see, he accepted the world for how it was. No laws, morality, nothing. But he made the biggest fucking mistake ever. He betrayed us. He brought me and my mother into his office, spilled his shit speech, and shot her in the head right in front of me. He didn't stab me in the stomach and dropped me outside miles away on a pile of dead corpses, people he killed before. Weeks later, I broke back into the compound. I set a Humvee on fire and crashed it, sending a herd of biters into the neighborhood. I watched those soldiers burn. I still remember their screaming, "Son, A lot of them weren't a part of the killing, but they knew what was happening, so I decided they all had to die. I covered myself in walker guts and shot them down, left some of them for the dead to munch on. After that, I found him. After I found him in his office, I took him into one of the basements. Benjamin slowly tells Alice all the graphic details he did to Mortars, from beating him up to tearing his fingernails off one by one, followed by his teeth, actual fingers and eyeballs, and how after he turned into a walker, Benjamin took pleasure in killing him again by bashing his head in with a wrench. Alice was visibly disturbed by this. And then there was Greg, the 85th person I ever killed. Painted the inside of the mobile home with his blood after he and his brother tortured me and my friend all night, he said, as he continued. Benjamin went through the rest. Xavier, the CRM, the raiders at the hydro plant. He described to her the graphic details with no filter, every single way he killed the people. He did up until now. So, I think that's all of it, he finished. Alice suddenly got up and quickly ran out of the room as Benjamin looked on. She went into the bathroom, on verge of puking, as Benjamin was still inside the lab, unfazed. He looked at the trash can. Seeing the piece of paper, he bent over, taking it, and saw the note. He unfolded it, recognizing it was from Sean. Benjamin quickly read it as he looked around the lab, forming an idea. Elsewhere, we see Liza and Caden driving the convoy. She yawned before taking a sip of coffee. She handed him some. We've been out here for days and still nothing, she told him. How far are we now? She asked. About 125 miles. We're entering Nebraska, he stated. We should fuel up so no one will be left behind, she stated. They stop the vehicles as they fuel up. They look around. She takes a deep breath and appreciates the atmosphere. It's so nice today. Cade, why don't we scout ahead? She suggested. See what's up ahead, he stated. I already sent Delta 4 ahead, he told her. When did you do that? She asked. When you fell asleep. The group makes it to Delta 4 and discovered that the convoy was completely destroyed. Walkers and fire everywhere. Holy shit! Oh my god! She shouted. Alright, search for any clues to the CRM, he ordered his men. Liza was confused. What? These men are dead! Don't you care? She asked. Of course I care, but it was necessary. Now we have an idea where they came from. I sent multiple convoys. Now we know we're on the right track. We'll tell the people that they died in battle bravely. It was a necessary sacrifice, he said. You used them as bait? General, we don't have an endless amount of men to use. Those were new recruits from Greensville. Those men had families, and you've used them like cannon fodder, she told him, walking away. The next day, in the lab, Alice and Sean were preparing an experiment. What the hell are we even doing now? He asked her. Well, we are performing an experiment to see if the infected can be neurologically manipulated into hostility towards each other, she said. Sean looked at her confused. We're going to trick them into hurting each other, he asked. See if it's possible. Okay, why are we doing this? He asked. The dead always attacked humans and animals, but never each other. They can visually see the difference between an alive being and a dead one. Biters can also tell by smell if a person is alive or not. The dead don't sweat. They never get tired. They are constantly moving, even though they have minimum muscle mass. I discovered that when people reanimated, the first thing that decays is the body fat. Have you ever noticed that biters are never fat? She asked him. It's because the virus gets rid of it, stripping it from the body as an unnecessary hindrance to its life cycle, she stated, amazed. Sean was annoyed. What does it matter? Everyone still turns, he told her. We should just kill them all. I've learned science in school, but this is so pointless. It's never gonna help us, he told her. Alice smiled and sat down. She pulled out a puzzle and opened it. Sean, come here, she told him. Sean gave in, listening, as he obeyed, sitting down. She pulled out a piece from the box. What do you see here? She asked. It's a puzzle piece, he told her, unamused. That's right. But can you still guess what part of the puzzle it is, or what piece it's on? What picture it's trying to form? she asked. Of course not. I don't have enough information. Duh, he asked. Exactly. Like looking through a telescope or seeing a puzzle piece. Like with the dead, this puzzle piece is only a small part of it. If we can find enough pieces to the puzzle, we can find out what makes the infected, well, them. It could be parasitic or space spores or human biology, but the more data we gather from them, the better humanity has a chance in fighting back and developing a cure, she said. Don't tell me you believe in that cure bullshit, he said. It's impossible. Whatever makes us come back after we die is inside of us, and there's no way to get rid of something that's inside of us, he told her. Sean, you're 14 years old. You have your whole life ahead of her. You have to believe there's a future, she said. There isn't, Sean said. There is no future. There's only extinction, Sean told her. Later, Caden looks around, not seeing his lover anywhere. Sergeant Calver, he ordered. Have you seen the commander? He asked. Walkers appeared, but they were stabbed in the head by Liza as she swiftly kills them with ease. He saw her pissed off and upset. I'm sorry I did that, without at least telling you. I shouldn't have sent their men to their possible deaths like that, he told her. No, you shouldn't have. But what's done is done. Let's just make their deaths matter, she said. I should have found another way, but I was afraid, he revealed. Afraid of the CRM, she asked. More than that, I'm afraid of losing you. I can't lose you after Lacey and Kaylee. I don't want to lose you too. You have been with me for most of my life. You're my best friend, and after I lost them, you stopped me from ending my own life. It wasn't Trevor or Hill or Evans or Alice, it was you. You talked me down from doing it. You showed me a way to keep fighting, a way to keep living. I don't just want to rebuild a country. I want you to be there with me. And if the CRM are still alive, I'm worried they're going to take you too from me, I told her. And I can't, no, I won't let that happen. Not again, he said, upset. Liza came closer and hugged him. She gently touched his face. You will never lose me. I can handle myself, she said. Besides, I will always be right here beside you. You never failed to save me before. You can't live your life in fear of what may happen. Just think of what is happening, what we have, she told him as they kissed. Let's go home, she said. Caden's smile was gone. I'm sorry. Not yet, he told her. We're so close now, he told her. Later that day, we see Alice walking with Sean in the hallway. She opens the elevator as they go inside. Sean looked at it surprised. Yes, we have a working elevator, she smiled as they went inside. She pressed a button as the doors closed. As the door opens, Sean notices that the place was even nicer than the other floors. Where are we? He asked. The top floor. It's where the officers and their families live, she stated. Why are we here? He asked. The door opened, revealing Jessica, Dylan, and Jordan. They immediately hugged Sean. Sean was surprised. Sean, you're okay! They didn't hurt you, did they? Dylan asked. Oh my God, what are you guys doing here? He asked. It's a long story. Liza gave me permission. I'll leave you to it, she said, leaving. Sean sat down with them. They were eating. Have they treated you well? Want to eat? Dylan asked. Hey, did your dad get shot? I heard he was taken to the infirmary, Sean asked. He was, but they brought him here to get surgery. It's been months, and he's all healed up now. It was close, though, they said. What happened? Sean asked. After Carla and I were captured, they brought me to Huntington, and I saw Rachel for a little bit, but then they brought me back here, he said. They brought us back home, they told him. I knew you guys ran away from your old home, but how did they find us? Sean asked. I don't know. But you've been okay, right? How's Benjamin? They asked. I don't know, Sean said sad. I heard he was turned into a soldier for them. How did you guys even meet General Miles? He asked. The boys looked uncomfortable. Sean, it's not a pleasant story, they told him. What? Sean said. We can't talk about it, they stated. Why the hell not? He asked, pissed. Sean, there's a lot we never told you, they told him. Then tell me! I have to know! He cried. I have to know what I put everyone through. They killed Carla! He cried. They looked at each other. Sean, do you know the commander, Liza Brooks? They said. Sean nodded. Well, she's our aunt, they stated, shocking Sean. On the farm, you see Angela walking with her brother Ethan. So we're really doing this? He asked. Josh shows up with a gun. I want to fight the Patriots too, he told them. Ethan and Angela were surprised. But Josh, are you sure? They asked. I'm sure. If we don't stop, they'll come for us next, he stated. Going to war is a lot harder than it sounds, she stated. You're not going, are you? He asked. I want to, she stated. But I'm still not sure, she said. Rachel needs our help, and I owe her that. But I'm still scared, she stated. You don't have to go too, Ethan told her. I'm going. But Josh, you guys don't have to follow me. Think about Father's health. You can stay with him, he told him. In the distance, Obadiah and Manny shot their guns, killing many zombies. Obadiah was killing them with his gun, bashing them as he reloaded again. So we're really doing this, he asked. No other choice, he stated. I wish it didn't always come to this. What if we lose? Obadiah said. What happens then to everyone here? What happens to Rachel and Benjamin and Sean back in Helios? What do you think Trevor and Miles will do to them? He stated. We can't not fight for the sake of a few people. This is about everyone. This is the only way. This is the only option to fight. Justice for Carla and everyone else they murdered. We left the Patriots before because we didn't want to be a part of it, but I'm not making that mistake again. This time, we end it and make sure they never come back and hurt anyone else we love ever again, he said angry. On the road, Commander Liza and General Miles were killing zombies and clearing the roads. A soldier looked, seeing a massive pile of bodies. Sir, look at this, he said. Miles and Liza looked, seeing a massive amount of dead walker bodies to the side. Liza and Miles all looked at the pile. This doesn't look at all that old, she said. My thoughts exactly. Get the detector, he stated. We see the soldiers pulling out metal detectors from the vans. Spread out this way. They all looked around when a soldier activated his detector. A loud beeping was heard. Everyone turned to him. I have something! They dug for the third. He pulled out a bullet casing from the dirty ground. Miles came, though. Give me that, he said. He took the bullet and cleaned it. He looked, seeing a small 3 circle on it. I fucking knew it. They were here, he said, handing it to his lover. Liza looked at it. She placed it in the bag. Sloppy. Are there any more here? She asked. They used the detector, searching for more, and bagged them. Fucking sloppy, they stated. Why do you think they were here? She asked. No idea, but whatever it is, we'll find them. Get with Calvert and mark the coordinates. We're going to take these to get analyzed, he said, taking all the bullet casings. Afterwards, they were walking as General Miles was looking over a map. How many gallons of gas do we have left? He asked. About 21 gallons. If we keep moving at this rate, we're going to have to sacrifice one of the trucks to make room. We're too far away from Helios, he told them. General, we should head back. Take the bullets to the forensics team and figure out a next move, she said. General Miles signed. We're so close to Lincoln. Let's try to make it there and restock on supplies. Then we'll pack up and head home, he said. The other soldiers looked on, very ticked off at another delay. Liza was also upset. General Miles made it to a clearing as he sat down. He pulls out some pictures, one of a woman and a young girl. He took a deep breath. Hey, Lacey. Kaylee. Sorry I missed talking to you these last few weeks. I have, pretty busy. But I know that's no excuse, he said. Things have been getting tougher. Dr. Evans says my psyche is getting worse. My sleep has been less and less. I've been taking these pills he prescribed, but it's not the same. Liza has been taking so damn good care of me since you two were taken, but it's not the same. If I'm gone, what will happen to the Patriots? No way in hell I'm giving it to Trevor. He's reckless. Fucking dumbass. No, damn it. Sorry. He told me to stop cursing so much, he stated. He signed. Life was a whole lot easier with you two still in it. I trusted everyone we had. Now I just see traitors around every corner. I see people who will die without my hand to guide them. Maybe it makes me a monster, but it's what they need. A monster to protect them. A monster to kill monsters. A monster to take back our country, he told him. Lacey, if you were still here, I'd probably be chasing men away from you, he laughed. God, I still remember when you used to think boys were gross. You were so grossed out, even when me and your mother showed our affection to each other. Even though every father hates it, I wanted that for you. To find a life partner. It's the greatest thing in the world. Well, having your own kid is almost as good. It's very close, he told her. You would have loved it. I would have too, he said. He then picked up Lacey. Lacey, my rose in the wasteland. This world was always too damn cruel. Trusting people every single fucking corner. People willing to betray and backstab you in a moment's notice. I try to see the good in people because you were the first one. There's so much that's wrong with the world. Every single time I think there's something good that can happen, life always finds a way to fuck you. So many disappointing things. But marrying you was the greatest day of my life, honey, he stated, crying. I swear I will kill every last one of them for taking you and Kaylee away from me, he said, upset. He put down the picture as Liza far away watches from a distance. We see Sean going back to his room with Alice there waiting for him with supplies. Hey, is everything okay? She asked. Yeah, it's fine, he told her. I'm tired. I want to get some sleep, he stated. Okay, good night, Alice said, leaving him. We then see hours prior. Commander Liza is your aunt? He said, completely shocked. Dylan and Jordan looked and tried to reassure him. Yes, she is, they told him. Why didn't you ever tell me this? He asked. We never thought they would find us again. That's why we left, he stated. So what happens now? You're not trusting her, are you? Because she's family, right? He asked. Well, I don't know, they stated. You don't know? She's the enemy. She's one of them. She captured me and Carla that night months ago. It's her fucking fault Carla died, he shouted. Back in his room, Sean began to cry. I don't know what to do. I don't know who or what to believe anymore. Benjamin, where are you? He asked as he cried into his pillow, softening the sounds. Sean thought back to his parents, Hannah, John, and Carla. If only they were still here with them. In the shed in the woods far away, you see Dan and Alexa sitting down as it rained as they lay down on their backs. They were dirty and bored. So hungry, she stated. Dan gets up and grabs his bag, pulling out some beef jerky, handing it to her. We should save it, she said. We can find more, he said. The next day, they go through the muddy road with their horses. They ride on their horses. She turns to him. Where are we going now? She asked. Well, you don't know, do you? She asked. No, not specifically, he told her. We need to find some food or we're gonna starve, she told him. Dan noticed something was bothering her. What is it, Alexa? What's on your mind? He asked. Did you think about what we talked about last time? About leaving? She asked. I have, and it's still a terrible idea. We're not leaving them behind. End of discussion, he stated. Of course you say that, she said. You are so positive. You just think we're gonna find somebody. You've been out here for over a month, and the only things out here are bugs and the dead, she stated. I know there's people out here. We just need to find somebody, he stated. I don't want to talk about this anymore, he told her. I think it's getting colder. So we're more north? He asked. We're heading nowhere, she stated. That night, we see them at a campfire. What do you think their baby will be? He asked. What? She asked. Benjamin and Rachel's baby. I think it should be a boy. Everyone keeps having girls. But Rachel is really skinny. She's a small girl. I hope she makes it, he stated. Honestly, she's a brave girl having a kid in this world, he stated. I would never do it. Not in this life. I would never have a kid. That in this lost world, she stated. What? Not even one? Dan asked her. Not with anyone? No, she said, disappointing Dan. Because then my child's life would be in danger. There's no point when there are already so many things trying to kill you. Why open yourself up to that much pain, she said. Maybe because it'll be worth it in the end. They're also opening themselves up to so much joy. Without pain, you can't appreciate the beautiful moments in life, he said. Life is like a dark tunnel. It feels endless. You struggle, you crawl, you can't see any light. You feel scared all the way through. But eventually, you make it to the other side, and you feel so overwhelmed. Suddenly, they hear screaming. Oh no, the horses! Dan and Alexa ran outside as the horses got free. Not again! They shouted as the beast ran outside into a group of the dead. No! They shouted. We see Alice working on her experiments when she looks exhausted trying to analyze her notes, brain and behavior patterns. She uses her computer looking over many tapes of zombie footage. She tried to find something. She looked at blood samples as she put them in a special machine that heated them up. She looked, seeing no change. She signed. No signs of physical or chemical change by heating up the contaminated blood specimen A43. We'll try cooling tests next. Blood and tissue samples seem to be immune from any deterioration from temperatures above or below normal body temperatures. The dead tissue seems to be immune to any chemical manipulations. We'll implement next manipulation test through behaviors tomorrow, she stated. Suddenly, we see Trevor enter a lab as he comes inside. Lieutenant, she said. What can I do for you? She asked. Have you made any progress on the Black Wolf? He asked. Alice was confused. Black Wolf? I don't know what, he interrupted. Hunter, he clarified. It's been weeks and the general's gonna want him back in the field soon and... She interrupted. I'm sorry, but it's only been a few days. What am I supposed to be, a miracle worker now? You gave him to me last minute, she asked. You owe me this, he told her. The general blames me for him being a psychopath, he told her. Well, she said. Well, what? Trevor asked. Lieutenant, I've heard some of the things you've done. Seen them too, and they're disturbing. I was there when you killed that man. I've heard of the arena, she said, disgusted. It sounds like a slaughterhouse. We're supposed to be a beacon of hope in a lost world. We're supposed to save people. Save every single life we can find, and... He laughed maniacally. Oh, that's fucking hilarious! Wake up, princess! We're not knights in shining armor. The stories your daddy told you were fake as shit. You stay in a cozy lab, not seeing the world out there. It's dead. 99% of the human race is gone. There's nothing except the dead and the CRM. Both have the upper hand over us. And let's be honest, not everyone is ever gonna make it. So why not trim the fat? A little crazy in the world is not gonna kill anyone. But Hunter is too fucking crazy. You need to fix him for me, or I will get rid of him myself. You fucking owe me for this, he said. Do I? As I recall from the story, you're the one who used him for your sick game and twisted fantasy. Trevor then grabbed her and pulled her closer. No, you fucking owe me, Doctor, for all the favors I've done for you over the years. Should I tell Miles or the commander about your second job? He asked. Should I tell him about yours? She asked. Why, you... Don't act like you never loved it, he told her, stroking her face. Alice looked disgusted. Suddenly, they heard a knock on the door. Trevor moves as Lieutenant Hill shows up. Lieutenant! Dr. Warren, he greeted them. Lieutenant, you're needed in the council room, he told him. Can it wait? He asked. No, it can't, Trevor, he stated. Trevor got annoyed and left Alice. Don't forget what we talked about, he told her. Hello, Lieutenant Hill. Is everything okay? She asked. Oh, it's fine. No one is there waiting for him. He'll find that out soon enough, he said. Wait, so you lied to him? Yes. Looks like I came right in time, he told her. Alice was nervous. You can come to me or Liza about this, he asked. I can't, she told him. Because of the medicine, I suppose? That'll be hard to explain. You've got a good heart, Alice. You're too good of a person to be here. How did you even wind up in Helios to begin with? He asked. It's a long story, she said. Well, do you have anything better to do? He asked, as she turned, looking at her test subjects. I was in my dorm when the outbreak was happening. People were leaving the campus and going home to their families, but I couldn't. I didn't have a car to get back home. My parents lived in New York. I was in Purdue University. When everything started happening, me and my roommate, Olivia, we held up in our room. One day while getting food, Olivia got bit. I did everything I could to save her, but she died from a fever. Did she turn? He asked. She did. I left her in our room, locked the door, and left. I couldn't do it. She got me through years of school, and I was so close to quitting, but she pushed me to keep going. We were so excited to graduate together. She had 4 little sisters. I didn't have any siblings. We were study partners, and I left her there. I left her as a growling corpse. I was too scared to put her down. I never killed a single thing in my life, she told him. It's not easy for everyone, he told her. I'm sorry you had to go through that, he told her. How did you get here? She asked. Oh, right, you're an officer, so... Yeah. I came here with Jenny and our girls when the dead started. The National Guard and the police were so busy trying to contain the virus, but the FBI didn't have anything to do. People came here for sanctuary. Officers and employees came here with their families, even the janitors. I'm glad you weren't here when Northington was still in charge. He was a world-class asshole, pardon my language, he stated. It's okay. I've heard way worse. At me, she said. We had a lot of resources here to live off on, and plenty of room, but we almost didn't make it with the infected. We were bringing in with the civilians. Despite everything, we still have a roof over our heads and friends, he said. Are we friends? He asked. Oh, yes, of course, she stated. In the woods, we see Caden and Liza looking through binoculars. The Patriots were wearing special camouflage outfits, hiding themselves in the woods. Down the hill, at some sort of camp, they whisper to each other as they move through quietly. Miles points his fingers. They look closer, seeing Humvees and Jeeps in all black. It's them, he stated. Idiots wearing all black in the daytime, spotted from miles, he stated. Quiet, Miles ordered. He looked at the CRM soldiers down below, were all packing. Miles used a special listening transmitter. They kept quiet as they listened in. Moving column to column 3, estimating it'll arrive in 1400 hours, they stated. What are you thinking, sir? What are your orders? Liza asked him. I don't know. They're pretty far down there. They could have a sniper position. We should leave, I told him. We're attacking? Someone asked. Wouldn't it be harder to trail them? Leave the convoy hidden and trail them to see what they're up to instead, she asked. Yeah, that's a better idea. He listened to her advice. Alright, you come with me. Sergeant Calvert, you're staying here with the convoys and stay hidden. We'll radio if something comes up, he ordered. Understood, sir. They take many gas canisters and load them onto the truck. We see Liza and Miles driving down the path until they stop. She slams the brake, seeing something in front of her. The walker was stuck in a special wire trap in the middle of the road. The walker was stuck on the wire, snarling at them. They got out. Don't kill it. They might be watching. Pressure wire, she stated. We'll have to take another path, he stated. It was nighttime, and her and Miles continued to track down the vehicle as they dropped down some dogs. They sniffed for a long time. Come on, you dirty mutts, hurry up, he said. Liza looked on annoyed. You can't rush them, Caden. Otherwise they'll make a mistake and lose the scent, she stated. They followed the dogs for a while before eventually seeing some tracks. They were here. Yes, we found it again, he said, excited. Pretty far out, she said. I know, but let's keep moving. We're too close now, he said, determined. Days ago, we see Benjamin watching Patriot soldiers pack up and leave as they drive off to their cars for some sort of mission. They all leave the compound in droves as Benjamin is left behind. He smiles and looks up at a camera. He heads back inside and walks around. As Benjamin is walking around, he perches at the corner as he looks as a man leaves the security room. Benjamin smiles and walks back in the hallway. As he does this, he bumps into the man. Benjamin apologizes as the man curses at him to be careful. He leaves in a pissed huff. Benjamin salutes as the man leaves before he quickly flicks him off without him seeing. Benjamin's expression changes as he turns back and pulls a card out of his hand. Benjamin is holding the stolen card as he quickly goes to the room before slides it against the door. The panel turns green, letting him inside. The security door opens as Benjamin looks inside. He looks inside the surveillance room as he pulls out his phone. He sits down and looks at the security monitors. He goes on the keypad. He carefully looked at all the monitors taking pictures. He scrolled through all the main cameras in the compound, the ones on the roof and the ones in the hallways. He looked down, seeing a note. Cameras and tunnels gone. Need repairs. Benjamin took the last remaining pictures before getting up and heading to the door. He listened for any footsteps as he left the room and closed the door. He casually moved to the other hallway as people were coming. Benjamin then walked further as he headed to the door. He opened it as Dr. Evans greeted him. "Hello, Sergeant. Is everything all right?" he asked. Benjamin then pulled out his phone. "Yes, everything is just fine." We then see a montage as several days pass with Dr. Evans hands someone a piece of paper. "Come back any time you need to," he told his patient. The next patient. "Let me know if you have any more questions." Another patient. "I'll see you next week." We then see Chris, Jessica, the boys, Sean, Benjamin, and many others opening up a piece of paper as they're in different rooms. There were maps and coded messages on all of them. We see everyone using a decipher as they change the numbers into letters and letters into numbers. EP, escape plan. Get to the tunnels, shut down security, kill Miles and higher-ups, destroy list after reading. Detailed instructions will come in 1 week. Benjamin then was looking outside, watching the other soldiers coming back from their scouting and reconnaissance. He cracked his neck as behind him Ben smiled. "We're gonna kill them all," he told him. "Yes, we will," he said as it cut to black.